Hi children, good morning to everybody. Very warm welcome for all to our today's biology class. Do you know which is the next step after protection from weeds? Yes, next step we already listed, that is harvesting. Now we completed the 5 agricultural practices which are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protection from weeds. The next step is harvesting. What do you mean by harvesting? After the maturation of crops, we have to collect the produce. So harvesting means the cutting and gathering of mature crops. Students, today let us start harvesting. That is the 6th step in agricultural practice. 6th step is harvesting. How can we define it as harvesting? That is the process of cutting and gathering mature crops. After following all these steps, this is the end of the crop production, harvesting. This is a time to collect the produce. During harvesting, we are collecting and cutting the produce, what we produce during the agricultural practices. Usually, the cereal grains take 3 to 4 months to mature. At the time of harvesting, either we are pulled out the crops or cut close to the ground. In our country, the most of places in India, farmers either cutting manually by using sickle. Did you see? People are cutting the crops by using sickle. Yes. Or other methods also there, by using machines. Nowadays, farmers are preferring the use of machine due to the scarcity of laborers. Here, mostly farmers are preferring the machine harvester. Harvester, it's a machine used for cutting the mature crops. Actually, we know that while collecting the produce, what we grown, farmers are very enthusiastic. They are very joy and happiness because this is the end of their hard work. They are going to collect the result of their hard work. Okay. And after the cutting the crops, we are cutting the crops along with the tender stems and leaves. Another step is also in this harvesting, that is separation of grain seeds from its chaff. From chaff or hay. Usually, we are collecting the crops along with the tender stems as well as with the leaves. You can see that farmers are cutting the crops, mainly paddy. They are cutting the crops along with its tender stems and leaves. So, next step in front of us is to separate the grain seeds from its chaff or hay. That process is known as threshing. What is threshing? Separation of grain seeds from its chaff is called threshing. Nowadays, The threshing is done by using a machine called combine. Threshing is done by using a machine called combine. The combine is using for two purposes. It also used for harvesting as well as for threshing. So combine it acts as a harvester and thresher. For both purpose, we are using the combine, the machine. It's a modern machine. Now farmers are mostly using combine for harvesting as well as for threshing. So there we can save our time and labor. Large scale of crops we can harvest by using this combine. Okay. When farmers having small lands, they are using another method for separating the seeds from the chaff, that is called winnowing. In this method, with the help of wind, farmers are separating light-weighted waste particles like twigs and small leaves from the seeds with the help of a pan that you already learned in class 6th. Isn't it? Winnowing. Winnowing is a method of separating chaff from the grain seeds. Grain seeds are heavy, so from that easily we can separate lighter waste by winnowing. In our house also you can see that your mother is using a pan for removing the grains, chaff, that is chaff from the grains. Daily while they are taking rice for cooking, they are using that method, that is winnowing. Many other seeds are also we are separating from the chaff by using winnowing. That you already learned in class 6th. Okay. After harvesting, the farmers are dumping these waste like twigs, leaves and small branches of the crops in the field itself. Sometimes they are burning or sometimes they are keeping in small pits and allow them to decompose. Thus they increase the fertility of the soil. Here Paheli worried why this burning of these materials may cause pollution or not. No, it doesn't cause pollution because it is natural material. It is an organic matter, and by burning it may form a organic manure. So thus it increases the fertility of the soil. We don't need to worry when farmers are doing or burning the waste materials of crops in the field, means it will increase the fertility, not harm the crops or any human beings. Okay. After 3 or 4 months of hard work, while seeing golden field laden with grains, it fills the hearts of farmers with joy and happiness, isn't it? If you are producing any material, any crops, while it fruiting, means while we collecting the fruits or any products from that crop, means our mind is very enjoying while collecting those materials, isn't it? Same like here, farmers also, at the time of harvesting, their mind is very relaxed. Actually, that is the time for them to relax and to enjoy. Because after a long period of hard work, now is the time to collect that products, the result they are going to take. In our country, most places, men and women enjoying the happiness by celebrating as different festivals. Like Pongal, Tamil Nadu, South India, we know that they are making, that is a Pongal means it is a special dish. And they are celebrating while eating together. In Kerala, we know that Onam is coming now. After harvesting, people are enjoying the feast while making and eating together, and they're dancing, they're singing, etc. And also we know that while harvesting also, men and women, they are singing a rhythmic song. They are singing song in order to reduce their risk of harvesting. And they are enjoying. Their hearts are filled with joy. Okay. And we can listen one song at the time of harvesting. You may also know that many songs, that means folk songs are there. That is, they are singing and enjoying, and they are not at all knowing the effort of their work. But nowadays, most of the work is done by machines because workers are very less in our country. Agricultural workers are very less. Because of that, most of the work is replaced by with the help of, that is, machines. Tamil Nadu, Pongal, Kerala, Onam, and Assam, Bihu. And we know that Holi is that is a festival of colors. That also it is related to harvest. And Vaishagi, Haryana and Punjab people celebrating Vaishagi. Okay, we can list that. That is harvest festivals. Pongal, Onam, that is Kerala, Vaishagi, Punjab and Haryana, Holi, that is Delhi, Mumbai, all these places, Holi, Diwali, and Bihu. All these are harvest festival of different states. There, men and women along with their family members, they are enjoying by making special dishes. They are dancing, they are singing, and they are enjoying the harvest festivals. Okay, children? You also have to produce something and enjoy along with your family. Now, the lockdown periods, most of the people, they are started to produce something in their own home. That is a vegetable garden and some other items. Isn't it? You may also, that is a started that work. The last class I told you to grow some, that is a crops. Isn't it? All of you started. Then at the time of harvesting, you can enjoy by collecting the produce what you produced during these days. Okay. And today we discussed harvesting. It is the process of cutting and gathering of mature crops. And the next we discussed about threshing. Threshing is the separation of grain from the chaff. Another method also there for the separation, that is winnowing. And we discussed the different harvest festivals: Pongal, Onam, Vaishagi, Holi, Diwali, Bihu, etc. Okay, children. Now let us observe a video.
Harvest the crop simply means to cut the crop after it has matured. Do you think it's as easy as it sounds? Of course not. Harvesting of crops, if done manually, is done with a sickle. If a machine is used to harvest crops, it is usually the harvester. Crops are either pulled out or cut close to the ground. Once the crop is harvested, it needs to be threshed. What do I mean by threshed? The grains need to be separated from the stalks. Threshing is the next step after harvesting and is carried out manually. However, even machines called threshers are employed for this nowadays. In certain cases, farmers use a combination of harvester and thresher, a machine called combine. The machinery can carry out the process of harvesting and threshing together. Threshing is usually the beating of stalks on a surface that separates the grains from the stalks. Now the grains have yet another covering before they can be finally stored. That is the chaff. Chaff is then separated by a process called winnowing. In this process, small farmers manually separate the chaff from grains with the help of the wind. Grains are dropped down from a height and the wind carries away the chaff while the grains, being heavier, get collected into a heap. So, with the three processes of harvesting, threshing and winnowing, grains are now ready for storage.
I hope all of you observed the video. Then now this is the time to wind up today's session. See you again in the next class. Thank you.